So hey, hi, fat cow. So everybody, you have a life outside of my chair. I'm currently being attacked by some very, very, very angry muppets. Send help!
Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow, with my emotional support, Squishmallow, and a cat. Amber went live yesterday. I watched it all this morning. I will never get that time back. It was a zero content snooze fest. Right up until the point, Amber, I have a message. Up until the point, Amber started reading bits aloud from an old journal and mentioned the name Beck. Suddenly, we're talking about how Beck says that Amber never had cancer. And after a rant of not biblical proportions, but it was obviously defensive and irritating, and wasn't going to end well. Amber just sort of buggered off. Wouldn't say it was a rage quit per se. In terms of rages, it was quite mediocre. But anyway, here's my response to the only interesting bit in the entire thing.
Amber having cancer. Oh, okay,
There we
there
go.
was kind of a two-parter there. That is a good way to
Sorry,
wrap
it's
that
'cause
up, though, because I
my
did see a lot of
the mouse
questions
slipped
pertaining
up.
to that as well.
You're okay.
Like, I don't know. Beck, like, did you hear verbatim the doctor say you have cancer? I guess that's just the best way. Or I do enjoy how this person stated it. Do you feel like you weren't given the full truth? Did Beck? Oh my.
With the whole cancer thing, all I know is that we did go to the ER. She did have a DNC. They were like, we found, cancer cells. We're going to have to send you to a cancer specialist. They sent her to a cancer specialist. She had surgery to have stuff removed. And then after that, she didn't get treatment. She didn't go back to the doctor or anything like that. So honestly, I don't know 100% if she just had cancer cells or if she actually had cancer. When it comes down to it, I am not sure anymore.
Hello, Amber, and hello those who feel that Beck stated categorically and without question and in no doubt in your mind whatsoever that Amber didn't have cancer. It is I, Fat Cow. I'm about to repeat verbatim what Bex said, and hopefully when heard in a posh-ish English accent, it may be slightly clearer. With the whole cancer thing, all I know is that we did go to the ER. She did have a DNC where they were, like, we found cancerous cells. We're going to have to send you to a cancer specialist. They sent her to a cancer specialist. She had surgery to have stuff removed. And then, after that, she didn't get treatment. She didn't go back to the doctor or anything like that. So honestly, I don't know 100% if she just had cancerous cells or if she actually had cancer. When it comes down to it, I'm not sure anymore. Now let's get to the important bit, the bit that's being argued against vehemently by Amber. So honestly, I don't know 100% if she had cancerous cells or she actually had cancer. Do you know what that means? Do you know what Beck meant by that? They acknowledge that you had cancerous cells, and then you had those cancerous cells removed. By definition, that means you had cancer. What Beck is implying is that after these cancerous cells were removed by your total hysterectomy, because to their knowledge or by their memory, because you have to remember at the time Beck was compromised somewhat by their mental health and medication, or at very least their mental health pre-medication, which is equally as detrimental as the wrong medication, which we know they did have at some point, that because they are unaware or don't remember you having any follow-up treatment after the cancerous cells were removed, they don't know if after the operation you still had cancer. She's not denying. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. They do not know if you still had cancer after the surgery. They do not deny the fact you had cancer. They didn't use the word pre-cancerous. They said you had cancerous cells. Up until your full radical hysterectomy, they acknowledge you had cancer. What they are saying is they don't know if you still had cancer after the surgery, whether the surgery had removed everything or not, because they're unaware of you attending any follow-ups. We're unaware of you having attended any follow-ups because while you did go to have a scan, you also didn't get the scan because you exceed the weight limit for the machine. Beyond that, I personally know of no other follow-up treatment that you took. Me personally. And apparently, according to Beck, in their own words, they're not aware of it either. Beck never said you didn't have cancer. They were implying that they don't know whether you still had cancer or any cancer after your operation. Now, either you have just listened to the voices of the people in your DMs and not watched what was actually said, or you've watched what you actually said but decided to interpret it in your own way because you're angry, and sometimes when you're angry you misinterpret things, or you know what was actually said, but you're playing into the narrative because, one, it gets views and makes you money, and two, it makes you the victim to Beck, who you are very, very, very desperately trying to portray as a worse individual than yourself. Whatever the case, you are either stupid, ignorant for not listening, so you've either don't understand, which makes you stupid, ignorant because you're not listening properly, or you're deliberately being deceptive to create momentum with your narrative. Any of these scenarios does not portray you in a very good light. Beck never said you did not have cancer. Stop being the victim and stop trying to change the narrative and making Beck the abusive person in the relationship, not you, because we all know, because you videoed it, you saved the screenshots, you have the messages, and you put it all online yourself. You put your behaviour online yourself voluntarily, and that's why we all know you're a narcissistic abuser. It's your fault, we know. And it's your fault you are. I hope that even one person who has misunderstood what was said changes their mind. I don't expect it to be Amber. Amber is not capable of admitting they are wrong. It is not something that is in a narcissist's arsenal to, admit being so very, very wrong, and definitely not apologising for all the horrible things they have said about Beck when it comes to this particular this particular set of circumstances. Anyway, an attempt was made by myself and probably many, many other people, and hopefully at least one person will see the truth.